Alright. Sorry about if earlier my lighting was a little odd because I've got direct sunlight streaming in on me, but it looks a little better now, so I won't worry too much about it. And as per usual, for once, the game is not up not because of technical issues, but because I always wait to put up Cinderella Phenomenon so we can see the opening. Do, do, do. I actually got like a copyright claim, and I was really confused on one of my YouTube uploads of the VODs, and I was really confused because I was like, I've posted so many VODs, and I was like, is it the opening song? But why would they only now ding me? And then I found out it was actually because of one of my sound clips. So these things happen. Also, I figured out the problem with me not being able to hear the sound alerts when people did them, which came up, like, last night. I don't understand the problem, but I know what it is, and therefore I fixed it. Really, really like that visual. So fairy tale of life and sorrow's tender embrace. This was never meant to happen. The light of the day, the only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on. Cinderella, why don't you stay? Hello, Nathan. I'm just watching the opening as per usual. It's a cool song. It kind of gets, I don't know, gets me in the mood for the game and for the story, so. Yeah, I think the only route that I'm not looking forward to is, I don't know, I don't think that, like, Rumple's route's gonna be a total slog, but it's definitely, I'm prepared for it to be my least favorite. But then after I get through that, I get to do Fritz's route, which I've been warned is a roller coaster, but I'm still looking forward to it. Nonetheless. Alright. Gosh, okay, you know what? I'm eating a granola bar because I'm just thinking to myself, I forgot to eat because we didn't end up having a whole lot, because I didn't have a whole lot of time before this show. And I'm like, I could just try and go however long this chapter's gonna take me without eating anything and risk, like, blood sugar crashing. Not, I don't have, like, medical conditions that cause blood sugar crashing, but it's a thing that happens to me occasionally. Oh. I'm gonna eat a granola bar. I'm gonna be smart and not just try to sit here and suffer. So, my apologies, because I should have thought to do that during the opening song, but I didn't. Nah. Alright. I think actually I will get started. Shoot, I put chapter 7, but are we actually on chapter 7? No, I thought we were on chapter 7. Well, hopefully this is just at the end of chapter 6, and that's why it's there. Alright, so yeah, let's get into it, and I will take a couple of breaks to finish my granola bar. And I apologize for that in advance, but... yeah. Yeah, okay. Shoot. Wait. Are we actually on chapter 6 and I just forgot? Or are we on... or did I forget to save at the end of chapter 6? Alright, bear with me. I'm gonna... play through... wait. If skip works... it does. Alright, I must have just forgotten to save at the end of this chapter, so we're gonna skip through and I'm gonna finish my granola bar. So yeah, it looks like I forgot to save at the beginning of chapter 7, and therefore we are skipping through chapter 6 again to get to chapter 7, just to properly explain what's happening here. I can't remember which choice. Awesome. I thought it was the choice that I wanted, but... Alright. I think Bite His Hand was the correct choice here. There we go. I'm gonna save it right now, just in case I forget again, because it would be a pain to have to skip through both. Okay, so save. Yes, please. Return. And I'm very close to finishing this granola bar. I always forget. With any other game, I can keep playing while I'm chewing a granola bar, but not this one. Visual novels kind of require me to be able to talk. So many apologies for my awkward time management skills that led me to eating the granola bar on stream. Which I normally wouldn't worry so much about, but the visual... Anyway, we're getting started. So, we've caught up. So yeah, chapter 7, Thorny Rose. When I returned to the Marchand later that night, my hands are scratched, and I think I might have bruises on my arms. Claude was not joking when he said he would not go easy on me. And just as a reminder as to the plot, or in case anyone missed previous chapters, where we are at now is that Lucette has learned Karma's real name is Claude, and so she calls him that in her head and when they're in private. And she has talked him into giving her sword lessons. Which is pretty darn cool, honestly. I'm excited about it. So yes, Claude was not joking when he said he would not go easy on me. Lucette, thinking to herself. But he did compliment me more than once. Flashback scene, Claude says. Lucette, I've hit you quite a few times and you haven't uttered a single complaint. Impressive. Lucette, thinking to herself, crying is for the weak. Aw, honey. I mean, it's cool that you're able to, like, hold it together with the sword practice and the getting physically hit, but it's also worrying. Hello, Ice Stormy! Just, like, thinking about, so Lucette is, like, Claude was very impressed that Lucette didn't cry at all, or when she, even though she kept getting hit. And it was her first ever sword lesson, so I can make sense. It's, like, surprising that, like, getting hit with the sword didn't make her cry. And here she is thinking to herself, crying is for the weak. And I'm like, oh no. What if she doesn't... I mean, at first it's like, okay, there's the obvious emotional manipulation that going on there where her mother taught her that crying is bad. It's not. FYI, I have strong opinions on that. It is fine to cry if you need to cry. Or if you feel the urge to cry. Sometimes it's just good for you. It's just a good way to release pent-up emotions. I am pro, in general, like, crying if that's the place where you're at. Like, in terms of, or at the very least, I'm not anti. Like, I don't think there is anything wrong with crying when you are in pain or, you know, physically or emotionally. But she was taught that crying is a weakness, so of course she wouldn't cry in any circumstances, and I'm now just also having this awful thought of, oh, what if she's also a little bit more experienced taking, not crying when being, struck as well? I wouldn't be terribly surprised. Yes, she's remembering her mother's lessons, as she often does, and absolutely, and so, like, the emotional, You know, and certainly everything we've seen of her mother has been emotional abuse, so probably it's just the same, like, you know, crying is for the weak, so she taught herself to not cry. But I'm just having this horrible, like, oh gosh, what if also she is used to not crying when being hit? But that's a bit dire of an imagination that I'm going down, so I'm gonna not, pursue it any further. Though everyone should be sleeping, I notice that the light is on at the tavern. I see Jurian and Garland up and at a table speaking with each other and laughing. Yay! That sounds positive. Lucette thinking to herself. If Claude had come back with me, he would be happy to see this. Out loud. You two are still up? They are not even surprised when they turn to face me. Jurian. Good days like this are even better when stretched. I haven't been off duty in a long time. Yay. Yay. There's a very sweet scene in Waltz's Route about this whole thing of crying is for the weak. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'll look forward to that. Like, yeah, that's... I appreciate knowing that. Lucette. Did you both have a good time tonight? Jurian. It was great! Garland knows these little places in town that I've never heard of before. Oops. Oops. I noticed that Jurian is more energetic than usual, her smile a little wider than normal. Lucette thinking to herself, I wonder if she's drunk. Oh dear. Jurian, I'm gonna get another drink! Lucette thinking to herself, another drink? I wonder if she was, like, anxious and drank to sort of counteract it. Garland leans in toward me, his voice hushed. Garland, we already bought a replacement bottle when we were out today. We would never take anything from the bartender. Oh, I'm glad to know. I'm glad that he cares enough to say that. We already bought a replacement bottle when we were out today. We would never take anything from the marchand without money. Lucette. Right. Is Jurian drunk? Garland. Oh no, princess. Tipsy. It's like a buzz. Fades a lot quicker. Lucette. Oh. Garland and I watch Jurian as she refills her glass at the bar. Garland. I have to thank you, princess. I would never have asked her out if you and Karma hadn't insisted on it. Lucette. So you told her? Garland looks at me with a pleased smile. Lucette. I'll take that as a yes. Garland. She didn't really realize until much later. I just asked her out for food, and she thought that's all it was. Lucette thinking to herself, maybe Jurian really did need to be told bluntly. Yeah, that tracks. Jurian does seem like the sort where you'd have to be like, hey, I like you, romantically speaking, and would like to date you, and maybe, like, hold hands and make out and such. Okay, maybe not quite all that, but, like, saying directly, I like you in the romantical sense and would like to date you, seems like a statement that, like, the level of statement you'd need to make for Jurian to be like, oh, okay. Lucette. What happened? I feel like that was a little negative sounding. So, I mean, this might be a bit of a stretch, but I could also see Lucette being like, what happened? Garland. I, told her? Lucette. And? Garland. We talked and remembered old times. Lucette thinking to herself, he sounds like an old man. Oh, precious! Garland. And I held her hand. I just, like, want to pet him on the hand and just, oh, I don't know. Oh, that is the sweetest friggin' thing. I cannot. Garland, and I held her hand. Oh, my heart. Oh my goodness. I think I might even have... Oh, I'm not logged in. I was gonna do, I'll not worry about my soundboard, but I have, like, a soundboard sound for aww, and I was gonna pull that up. But I can also make that sound, so I'm not gonna worry about logging into the thing. I held her hand. I notice Garland flinch ever so slightly, but he is smiling. He looks pleased with himself. Garland. And the night's not over yet, so... He trails off with a hopeful smile before he raises his eyebrows at me. Garland. What about you and Karma? Lucette. What about us? I've asked him to train me. Garland. Train? Princess, you've asked him to teach you how to use a sword? Jurian. What's this? Our princess is going to pick up a sword? Jurian returns to the table, but I am too tired to properly join in the conversation. Lucette, thinking to herself. I should leave them to their conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. Jerlin, the second best ship of this game for me. Yeah, legit. I mean, they are extremely cute. Oh, Lucette is the same in this aspect. Remember Rod's route when she didn't realize he had feelings for her until he outright told her, even though it was very obvious. Right. That's true. And then, like, kissing her to shut up. It's like, will you ever stop talking? And then kissing her to do the thing, and then being like, wait, oops. And then blushy, and that was a very good scene. But yes, Jerlin. Oh, hello, this new island. Thanks for tuning in. And, like, you know, I've seen other people say this, and I might actually want to make one of myself, like, because I've even seen people have, like, a command for, like, late being like, you are not late. You are here when you are here, and it is deeply appreciated. I mean, I suppose in the case of a visual novel, late might be relevant in that you may want to, like, watch the VOD for the stuff you missed, but in this case you haven't missed much. It's mostly just, the most notable thing you've missed so far, at least in my opinion, is that Garland told Jurian that he likes her, and it seems to have gone well, and they held hands, and it was the cutest thing. Oh, alright, so Lucette, thinking to herself. I should leave them to their conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. I excuse myself to head upstairs. Lucette, shocked. I know you always go back to catch up on the VODs, and I appreciate it. That sounds amazing. Yes, it's very precious, because Lucette goes up and is like, asks Garland, so how'd it go? And Garland's like, we talked, and she didn't realize what was that it was more than just going out to eat at first, but then I told her, and then we held hands. It's so cute, even though Lucette had to keep being like, and? Which was also kind of cute, because, like, I love that Lucette ships them so much, like, that is its own kind of cute. So, anyway. Lucette, shocked. I am startled awake by an excruciatingly bright light. It is momentary, and when it is over, I'm sitting in my bed, dazed and confused. My eyes burn. My hand flies to the pendant around my neck, where I see the second glass slipper with another piece. Lucette, shocked. I wonder if it counted as a good deed to, like, encourage Garland to give it a chance with Jurian? Or even just to, like, leave them to their own devices? Like, I guess something to do with the whole Jurian and Garland thing. Like, maybe just the fact that she's so happy for them in a way that is, like, not for her own benefit, but for theirs, is itself kind of counts for the good deed, so... I'm sure the game will explain exactly what the good deed was, because it has in the past. And Lucette, and back on the thought I had with Lucette and Rod, and Lucette didn't realize Rod had feelings for her, not even after the kiss. Talk about being oblivious. You're not wrong! Oh my goodness. Lucette, shocked. Oh, so bright light of the... Lucette, thinking to herself, there's another piece. But when did I do another good deed? I grasp the necklace tightly in my hand as I make my way to the tavern. Everyone is doing their pre-morning chores when I get to the tavern area. I notice Karma glaring off into space, and then, not far from him, the two knights. Lucette, thinking to herself, they haven't been up all night, have they? I make my way slowly over to them. Jurian, even back then, you were like some kind of shadow, weren't you? Garland, shocked. Yes, it was a good deed to help Garland and Jurian, that's why she got another piece of the pendant. That's fair, right? And I mean, like I said, it makes sense because it's, like, you know, she helped encourage, like, this cute romance, but also more specifically, I feel like the thing in my mind that makes that make sense as a good deed is that she's happy for their sake. Like, that she is, like, and that's kind of part of the whole concept of why they wanted her to, like, be doing good deeds, is to like, be able to be, like, do things for others just because she wants them to be happy, not for her own sake. So, like, you know, this is filed under, she's just really happy that Jurian and Garland are happy, and that feels like it makes sense to me, kind of, like, a little bit disjointedly, but, like, makes sense for how that could count as a good deed. Like, you know, I guess ultimately she kind of got, like, the good deed star for wingmanning, effectively. And I mean, you know, Garland himself said, I never would have done this if you guys hadn't pushed me, and they're clearly both really happy, so, like, it was nice. I like it. Oh, nice. Jurian, you don't have to hide it. It was obvious you were tailing me back then. Garland, it was only because I was worried about you. Jurian, I realized you really didn't have to follow me, Lan, but I'm glad you did. Oh, she even has a nickname for him! Lucette. Lan? Garland. Jurian. Oh, shush, Fritz used to call you that too. Oh, cute. Okay. Lan is Garland's childhood nickname. He still gets embarrassed when I call him that. Aww. So were they childhood friends then? Because that's also very sweet. Lucette. I see. So what are you two talking about? Garland. Oh, we were just reminiscing. I look at the two of them critically for a few moments, waiting for them to say something. They both exchange a glance before looking at me, confused. Lucette. Well? Jurian. Well, what? Lucette. How did your date go last night? Garland makes a sound and turns beet red. Jurian's eyebrows quirk, and then she laughs. Jurian. Oh, that. It went well. So well, in fact, that you can see that the two of us are still very much enjoying each other's company. Yes, so precious! Lucette, thinking to herself. Jurian is usually busy taking her rounds around the Marchen with a scowl on her face. She looks happier being here with Garland. More relaxed. Jurian, you might even say that we're dating. Garland, shocked. Blushy shocked. Jurian, isn't it funny how red he gets, princess? It is. It's precious. Garland, you were blushing just as much yesterday when I... Jurian, one more word, lad, and I swear I'll punch you. True love. True love. Affection punches. I definitely, I can relate to that, like, because I assume that she doesn't mean, like, clock him hard enough to knock him out kind of punch, but, like, you know, honestly, that's a fake punches, and even, like, you know, slightly, like the kind of, like, little stingy, like, ouch, kind of, I don't know, cutesy roughhousing, I think is what I'm trying to get at, is to me a love language, so I think even that is actually pretty precious, so... The two of them are both blushing now, and the scene is oddly comical. Lucette, thinking to herself, who knew that the two great knights of the Order of Caldera could be so easily undone? Out loud, both of you are amusing to watch. The two of them... Sorry. Wow, Lucette just came right the frig out and said it. The two of you are amusing to watch. Normally you keep that for your inside voice, Lucette. Or I mean, okay, I guess the more proper way of phrasing that would be you two are adorable to watch. Which is, I think, what she really means. Which is... Nah, okay, it's also funny that they keep being blushy. The two of them stare at me, suddenly solemn-faced. I suddenly remembered that one conversation the knights all had at the castle. They were talking about how they all had personal reasons for being knights, despite the fact that they all served the king. I had always thought Jurian and Garland were stoic and honorable, that their only reason for becoming knights was a sense of justice. Seeing them here, though, without that stoic facade, they feel more like people. My curiosity is piqued. Forgive me, I just breathed wrong. She doesn't have an inside voice really about this. You're not wrong. I mean, it makes sense, like, as we've discussed before, like, she really values bluntness and straightforwardness and honesty, so since that's something she really values, it makes sense that she would try to be like that herself. Yeah, exactly. Lucette is the blunt, honest type. Thinks thing, says thing. Anyway, sorry about that. I literally just inhaled funny and then choked. Or coughed. Anyway, my curiosity is piqued. Lucette, do you mind if I ask what your reasons were for becoming knights? Jurian, oh, my father was a knight. He put his life on the line for this kingdom. Garland, Jurian's father was a living legend in his own right, and he had the medals to back it up. Jurian, my father wasn't around a lot, but I always admired him. Lucette, thinking to herself, judging by the look on Jurian's face, it is clear to me that she really loves her father. Jurian, my mother died when I was young, and because my father couldn't be around all the time to take care of me, I ended up practically living with Lon and his family. So they were childhood friends. Lan always got annoyed when I called him my brother. And now you know why! Because he was like, no, we are not siblings, we are childhood friends, and also I want to date you. Garland. Silence. Jurian, in fact, there we go, Jurian. Now I know why. Garland. Jurian wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. Lucette. Then why did you join the Knights, Garland? Jurian. Because he wanted to watch over me. Garland. Jurian. I never knew you blushed so easily, Garland. Garland seems to blush even harder at that, and Jurian's laughter becomes infectious. I feel amusement begin to bubble up as I watch the two of them. Aww. But a cold voice cuts through the laughter and the atmosphere like a hot blade through ice. Oh, okay, I was like, oh no, somebody here to destroy the fun, but no, it's just Claude having a headache, I think. Claude. Could you keep it down over there? Oh gosh, not having a good day, I guess. I turn and see that Claude's eyes, normally so warm, are cold. His usual smile is gone, replaced with a deep scowl. Jurian. Oh, we're sorry. Claude. Silence. Lucette. He's thinking to herself. He's still glaring at the two of them. Oh, I can tell him about the necklace. Lucette. Claude. Karma. I got another piece to my necklace. Another good deed. Claude turns his gaze to me, but the frown doesn't disappear. Karma. That's nice, darling. His voice is calm, but flat and lacks any enthusiasm. Lucette, thinking to herself. That felt lackluster, and oddly disappointing. Garland. A good deed? Congratulations, princess. You're close to breaking your curse. Jurian. What did you get the good deed for? Sorry. I laugh like that because we, of course, know what she got the good deed for. Hooking the two of you up. Lucette. I am not sure, actually. Oh, yes, Jurian. Maybe it was for helping Lan confess? I hear you and Karma went out of your way to help make it happen. Lucette. That happened yesterday, though. Jurian. Maybe the magic was waiting to see what became of Garland and I? Claude makes a dismissive hand gesture from his table, frowning. Claude. If you two insist on being so affectionate, you should get a room. Jurian. Affectionate? So Jurian's smile has faded away into a dangerous scowl. Where Garland looks confused, Jurian looks notably irritated. The shadow is still there on his face. Lucette, thinking to herself, Claude does not look okay at all. Okay, we're gonna save here, because I'm not 100% sure. I'm often not 100% sure which one is the right choice. my instinct would be to comfort him, but, like, I feel like in the past he's responded better to, like, in this situation, he kind of is in the wrong. Like, I mean, it's obviously something's wrong and something's up with him, but, like, you know, he also could have just left, but instead of, like, spoiling the mood and all that, so. So on the one hand, something's obviously wrong. Like, me as a person, my default would be to try to comfort the person, but in-game, I think it would make just as much sense to scold him for being, like this, so. And I feel like he has responded to better choices like this in the past, so I'm gonna try that. Lucette thinking to herself, it doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Out loud, irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Claude, fine. I apologize. Happy? Lucette, silence. He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisted into a defiant scowl, but it doesn't hold long. Moments later, his expression softens, and he looks away, almost in shame. Claude, I'm sorry. Lucette thinking to herself, this apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? Yes, okay, I'm pleased that I read that correctly. Felt more correct for the circumstance. Silence descends for a few moments before Claude abruptly stands up from his table. Claude, excuse me. Claude turns briskly and heads upstairs, leaving me with the two knights. Jurian, I wonder what's wrong with him. Garland, you think we've been running him too thin because of the practice? Lucette, I do not think it's you two. Thinking to herself. I get the feeling that Claude holds himself back from saying what he means sometimes. Sometimes he acts strange, distant. And recently, he is getting more and more moody. Must have something to do with the curse, now that I think about it. Like, or at least that's my assumption, is, like, a lot of these curses, it would make sense, since they're meant to be something negative, if there's, like, some kind of, like... I know Rod's had a very active ticking time bomb component, and it would make sense if Karma's does too, especially if I'm right about it being Beauty and the Beast, because Beauty and the Beast had the thing where the Beast had to, like, get someone to, like, truly love him before the rose withered and died and lost all its petals or whatever that was. And Karma has a rose tattoo, and so my theory has been that the way to break Karma's curse is maybe, like in Beauty and the Beast, for somebody to fall in love with him for him and not for his looks, or, you know, what have you. And that there is a time limit on this happening, and it has something to do with and like the rose on his chest is serving the same function as the rose in Beauty and the Beast did. Anyway, that's my current theory. Annis. Princess? I look over at Annis, who is smiling apologetically. Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Broom is getting kind of restless. Lucette thinking to herself. Time to sweep, I suppose. Well, maybe cleaning will help me get my mind off of things. The rest of the day goes by slowly. I am stuck cleaning most of the day, and then serving later. At one point I speak with Delora about the knights that had attempted to kidnap me, and she tells me that she and Parfait are meeting later to discuss their suspicions. I still do not understand what their suspicions are, when Sir Alcaster cannot possibly know who I am. Unless someone told him! My hands are sore by the end of the night, but I still feel like I can practice with a sword. I notice that both Jurian and Garland look restless too. Garland eventually leaves for patrol, while Jurian remains at a table looking deep in thought. I do not want to bother her, so I decide to try and find Claude. I go to his room, but find that the door is locked. Lucette. Claude. Karma? Are we training tonight? Silence. Thinking to herself. No answer. My heart sinks. Thinking to herself. Is he not speaking to me? Did I do something wrong? Oh, Lucette, no. You definitely did not. But this is not good for... This sort of thing is definitely not good for somebody who is only just starting to, like, have real emotional connections with people. Yeah, I think, especially if Parfait actually went to his room, being presumably the only person who knows the full details of the curse. For days, Claude stayed in his room, only leaving when he had to be on patrol. A few times I saw Parfait go into his room, but she refuses to talk about what is bothering him. Which makes me think it's definitely about curses, because she definitely has a... I can kind of respect it. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that I am coming to dislike about Parfait, but, like, the details of someone's curse being sort of a personal thing that it's up to them if they want to share it or not, I can respect. Lucette, thinking to herself, I feel so useless. When Claude did appear in the tavern or out in the town, he still had that terrible grimace on his face. Claude. Flashback to Claude speaking to her. Look, I really don't want to talk right now. If you're so frustrated with me, why not just ignore me? No, I'm not going to train tonight. I'm not in the right state of mind. I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone. Please. So that must have been all of the times that she's gone to try to talk to him since. Lucette, thinking to herself, I am really beginning to worry about him. I mean, as well you should. Like, something is clearly extremely wrong, and he has decided to hunker down and ignore everyone, and that's not the way to solve problems. Today I am in town running errands with Waltz. Today I am in town running errands with Waltz for Parfait. It has been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I thought I needed to do something for him. Lucette, thinking to herself, I know he likes dresses, and he told me once that he likes roses, but can I really find something that will cheer him up? Perhaps he would like some jewelry. Out loud. Waltz, do you remember where that jewelry store Karma likes is? Waltz. I don't go there very often, so unfortunately no. Princess, is this a good deed? Lucette. Waltz. What are you doing right now? Did you think it would be a good deed? Lucette. Good deeds need to be selfless, right? Waltz. Generally, yes. Lucette. I doubt this will count as selfless. I'm doing this to cheer Karma up. Waltz. That sounds pretty selfless. Lucette. But it is also so that he goes back to teaching me how to fight instead of sulking in his room. Waltz. Shocked. I've heard that Karma has been teaching you how to use a sword. Why do you want to learn how to fight? Lucette. Because I want to be able to protect myself, and it's not like I can use magic. At least sword fighting gives me an advantage. Waltz. I'm sorry, Princess. I wish I could teach you magic, but it doesn't work when you're under a curse. Oh, interesting. Okay, so both neither Waltz nor Lucette could use magic right now, but that implies that once they are both uncursed, he absolutely could teach her magic, and that's actually pretty cool. And that makes sense, some sense also. Yeah, aw, I like that. Waltz. But on your 18th birthday, when you become the Tenebrarum Bearer, you'll be able to use magic. I'll instruct you if you want me to. Lucette. That would be nice. And frankly, like, she has such a messy, complicated relationship with Delora, I think it is better to have Waltz teach her. And, like, I am pleased that Waltz is around to be able to do so. I had, like, no idea until this route that he even was a witch. Lucette, thinking to herself. Though, that does not solve my current problem. What would cheer Claude up? Waltz starts chuckling beside me, and I turn to look at him, confused. Waltz. Karma is important to you, isn't he? Lucette. He's my partner, and he's helped me. Lucette, thinking to herself. He has also been patient with me, and smiled even when I've said some really inconsiderate things to him. Waltz. I'm glad, Princess, that he's your friend. Lucette thinking to herself. Oh, sorry. It doesn't work under his curse, actually. Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Well, I was assuming that because he said it doesn't work while you're cursed, so I assume he can't use magic right now, and also she can't use magic right now, because my read on that was just that anyone who is under a curse cannot use magic even if they normally could. But I guess once she is uncursed and thus able to use magic, or maybe she can't use magic until she gets the crystal? Oh, yes, I was talking about what you said. Okay. So theoretically, once she gets the Tenebrarum, like, it's also possible that she just won't be able to use magic until she actually inherits the Tenebrarum crystal. And then it would, but either way, once Lucette is able to use magic, it would make sense that Waltz would be able to teach her even if he's not uncursed yet, but, like, also hopefully she can, like, I mean, he can then teach her to uncurse him, and then that will be even more effective, but, like, I mean, theoretically, like, you don't stop knowing how to use magic even if the curse prevents you from doing it, so that's my theory anyway. Oh, okay. So, his curse prevents him from using magic at all. Lucette can't use magic until she turns 18, because, okay, so, yeah. Presumably has to do with the Tenebrarum crystal, or, I mean, who knows, maybe that's just how witches work. Oh, the ads during visual novels are hard. I mean, if folks let me know, I actually don't know when the ads run, I need to figure out how to set something up so I know, because I'm absolutely happy to, like, pause and just chat, so that people don't have to miss content because of the ads. So, anyway, this whole thing will be better explained in Waltz's route. That makes sense, as I would expect. So yeah, 100%, like, guys, if ever, like, a commercial pops up and you don't want to miss whatever's going on in the game, like, I mean, there's a bit of a delay, but if you let me know, I can pause and, like, pick it back up. I get the warnings in the stream monitor. Which stream monitor? Like, you mean in Twitch? I don't usually have that up while I stream because I use OBS, but I could pull it up. Yes, because... Alright, cool. So now I have that up as well. Yeah, okay. What does that even mean? Alright, well, I'll try to have this up so I will know, because that would be handy. Oh, did it, like, play an ad and then immediately another ad? Actually, I'm gonna assume that you're gone if it played. Did it play an ad? It's so... Okay, Alright, that's good to know. I didn't realize that there were things that I can only see in the Twitch stream monitor. So, okay, so in fact, I do see a countdown for the ad. You're right. I had no idea that was a thing. I mean, I have so many people that watch me that are subscribed, I didn't even notice. But, like, for some games, I don't think it makes a big difference if I'm, like, playing a different... Like, most of the games I play, it won't matter much if there's an ad that interrupts it, because there's not, like, such... But with this, like... There's not an active story that you'll miss pieces of, as opposed to this visual novel where there absolutely are, so I will try to keep an eye on that. Oh, you can also postpone ads, or play them at your convenience. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I knew that there was a way to roll ads just because I've seen people, like, have channel point redemptions for it. I haven't really seen a point to it. I mean, I guess when you're a bigger streamer, it's kind of... I think sometimes subscribers do it to be funny, I guess, but... For other games, it has also showed, like, a mini version of my screen during the ad, but not today. I'm still confused how that was happening at all, to be fair, so... Alright, anyway. Back to the game, but now I will also keep an eye out for the ad thing. Alright. What just happened? Right. So, Waltz says... I'm glad, Princess, that he's your friend. Lucette, thinking to herself. My friend. Claude does not feel like a friend. He feels like something else. Ah. Because she is so inexperienced with romance, she's like, okay, no, I think I know. I think I figured out this friendship thing, and this doesn't quite feel like that. Because it is a developing romance. Waltz. Oh, Princess, is this the one you were searching for? Waltz points to a peddler sporting different kinds of jewelry, and I instantly make my way towards it. There are all kinds of glittering things displayed, and for a few moments I feel myself drawn to everything. Then I notice the price tags. Lucette, thinking to herself. I barely have any money left from when the king gave me that pouch. I cannot afford any of this. Waltz. Maybe we should do our errands first, and then look for a gift. Maybe we'll find something as we look through the stores. Lucette, thinking to herself. But if I don't get Claude's gift today, I may not be able to give it to him tonight. Waltz. Princess? Let's see. Oh, wait, not there. It doesn't really matter where, but... My thought is that it makes sense. I mean, sorry, I'm just looking back at chat. You can also prevent pre-roll ads with ads shown during the stream, but, like, I'll also... It says my pre-roll is off, so... I'm hoping there's not a pre-roll, because there's not supposed to be. But, anyway. So my instinct here is to say let's run the errands first, because Waltz is not wrong. There could be, like, the perfect item in one of the stores. And I think that Lucette's being a tad impatient, and, like, can just as easily... That doesn't mean she won't have time to find a gift, so... But maybe I'm wrong, maybe she should be prioritizing it, but I think it's better to run the errands first, so... Lucette, thinking to herself. Waltz has a good point. We might find something while we do the errands, and then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it is not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. Yes! Good, okay. That's what felt like the correct answer to me, just in general in life, so... We spend a few hours gathering the supplies needed for the tavern, and only then do we start looking again for Claude's gift. Waltz. Princess, I can hold more of those bags for you. Lucette. It's fine. I'm used to carrying lots of bags. Waltz. Does karma make you carry them around? Lucette. Silence. Waltz. Princess, you should really tell him off. Lucette. He does a lot of other things for me, but next time I think I will. Lucette, thinking to herself. So long as he gets out of his room sometime soon. I really hope he does. Waltz. Hey, Princess. Lucette, continuing to think to herself. But now the problem is finding something that he'll like. What does Claude like? Waltz. Princess! Lucette, shocked. There's no reason for you to shout. Waltz shakes his head at me, but he's smiling. Waltz. Let me offer you a deal. Lucette. A deal? Waltz. If you help me set up for one of my puppet shows, I'll pay you. Lucette. You earn money from your puppet shows? Waltz. I get tipped, so what do you say? I won't go easy on you, though. Lucette. Yes, I'll help you. Waltz. Shocked. Lucette. Why do you seem so surprised? Waltz. I was just thinking that everyone's right. You've really changed, Princess. Maybe having Karma as a partner really was a good idea. Lucette. Silence. Thinking to herself. Being partners with Claude may have changed me for the better, but I doubt I have done the same for him. Waltz. I'm sure Karma would be very happy that you were buying him a gift. Receiving gifts from admirers isn't the same thing as you getting him something. Lucette, shocked. Out loud. He receives gifts from admirers? For a few moments I think about the women who chased us in town a few weeks ago, and I feel a little unpleasant stab in my heart. Waltz. Small things. A man will treat him to a dessert every so often. I saw a lot of it when we did errands together. I always make karma accept those gifts without killing the man. Lucette. Killing the man. It's dramatic, but it sounds like karma. Thinking to herself. He punched Rumple when he asked him to marry him, joke or not. Karma wears his disguise to be convincing, but then gets angry when people fall for it. He's still very much a child. I mean, to be fair, it's not that he's getting angry when people fall for it, he's getting angry when people are hitting on him. Which is a little different, but... Waltz. You know how he is. He doesn't like being flirted with. Lucette. Waltz, do you know anything else about Karma's curse? Waltz. His curse? He never really talks about it. Lucette. Claude might be even more stubborn than me if he is not letting... to be clear, thinking to herself. I can't remember if I said that. Claude may be even more stubborn than me if he is not letting anyone help him with his curse. Waltz and I continue our search for a gift. Waltz tells me that I can look for something a bit more expensive, and he'll just put me to work on another day by helping him with his puppets. I return to the jewelry peddler we found earlier. Peddler. Hello, madam, sir. What can I help you with today? Lucette. Do you have any sort of rose-shaped jewelry here? The man refers me to a box full of many different rose-shaped earrings. He then shows me necklaces, and I realize belatedly that it is as if I am searching for something for Miss Karma, not Claude. My eyes scan the glass, nearly in defeat, before a little rose catches my attention in the back of the display window. It has a chain connected to it, but it doesn't seem long enough to be a necklace. Lucette. What's that one? Peddler. That's our simple rose pendant, madam. It comes with a chain, but it can also be pinned on the chest. The man takes it out of the display case so I can look at it. Oh, I like it. Of course, I'm sure that Karma is gonna be, or Claude, I suppose, is gonna be like... I'm sure she's doing the rose because she saw the tattoo, but he's... It'll be interesting to see how Claude reacts to this. Lucette, thinking to herself. This is fancy, but not completely flashy. I feel a little click as I press my fingers to the pendant, and I realize that it can also open. Shop owner. Oh yes, you can also put something small inside of it. Lucette, thinking to herself, with a cute smile. This is perfect. I look at the price tag, and after making sure that it is not too expensive, I pay the shopkeeper. Waltz pays him the additional fee, and then we walk back toward the marchand together. When we return to the marchand, I go to my room to tuck the locket into a drawer before I head to the tavern to finish the rest of my chores. Just as I expected, Claude is not downstairs today either. Jurian and Garland have taken to training with each other, though they seem agitated that Claude is not helping them. At the end of the day, I hurry to my room, where I write a few words on a piece of paper that I put into the locket. Aww, that's really sweet, actually. I like that a lot. The words that she wrote are, a normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead, in heartfelt thanks. I hold the locket tightly in my hand and start towards Claude's room. Lucette, thinking to herself, why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. I pause at Claude's door, remembering the last time I entered his room. Wow, okay. Lucette, thinking to herself, I am sure it's okay if I just go in. Lucette, literally, you just said that you were thinking back on the last time you went to his room in which you walked in on him changing, and yet instead of thinking, oh, perhaps this time I should knock, you literally go on to think, I'm sure it's okay if I do the exact same thing again. Wow. I mean, maybe a little part of the back of her brain wants to see him shirtless again. I open up the door to Claude's room, which is thankfully not locked, and step inside. Claude is sitting motionless in front of his mirror, shoulders slumped as he stares at his reflection. Lucette, shocked, thinking to herself, he's shirtless, and there's that tattoo. It seems different? Claude does not notice me at first. I notice that his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest, and then I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly, I close the door behind me. It clicks, and that is when he suddenly turns to look at me. At first there's just shock on his face, then suddenly anger. Claude. Again! Why do you do this, Lucette? Or why do you do this again, Lucette? I'm thinking that Lucette came to give him something, so I'll say I came to give you something. I tightly grip the locket in my hands as I stare at him. Claude. And this was so important, so very essential, that you once again missed knocking on my door for a simple delivery? They made it so she would see his tattoo is different. Yeah, but if they were gonna do that, it would almost make more sense if it was like, forgetting what happened last time, I go and open the door, not even pausing to consider, whereas as opposed to, yes, and I thought about it, and I thought, it should be fine if I do the same thing again. I mean, then again, I can get behind a headcanon of maybe a little part of her wanted to see him shirtless and wasn't really, thinking that through. Oh. He was mean to her. His voice slices through my heart. Lucette. I wanted it to be a surprise. Claude. I am not in the mood for surprises, princess. In no time at all, Claude... Okay, so Kabe... We're having a bit of a Kabe Dawn moment, it looks like. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me, his hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. Literally, indeed. Yep. A classic. Lucette, shocked. His face is so close, his expression so fierce, that I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I can do is stare at him levelly, without getting angry, without crying. Lucette, thinking to herself, I will not show any weakness. Claude. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Lucette I know would do. Lucette. Then you do not know me as much as you think you do. Claude. And you know nothing about me! I already have a retort prepared when I stop, realizing that he is right. I just realized I don't think I ever got the correct choice indicator, so I'm gonna go do that differently. Load. Could be that it was gonna take longer, but this feels like it's scene transitioned, especially with the, the cutscene image there. That's usually not a thing that it would mark a scene transition, so that's probably gonna happen either way, so we'll try I came to speak with you. Excuse me. Lucette thinking to herself. I came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Claude. Why? Because you've been doing everything by yourself lately. You came to complain. Lucette. No, I wanted to check on you. Okay, this makes sense, because then this way she actually gets to say, I was here because yes, I had a gift for you, but also I was worried about you. And this answer makes that clearer, so that makes sense as to why it would potentially be the right answer. Yep. Claude. Princess, can you not read the mood? You could have at the very least knocked. Okay, and yep, here we go. This scene again. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me, his hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. Lucette, shocked. His face is so close, his expression so fierce, that I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I can do is stare at him levelly, without getting angry, without crying. Lucette, thinking to herself, I will not show any weakness. Claude. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Lucette I know would do. Lucette. Then you do not know me as much as you think you do. Claude. And you know nothing about me. I already have a retort prepared when I stop, realizing that he is right. I barely know anything about him. Lucette. No, I don't, but I'd like to. Claude. Why do you insist on poking your nose into others' business? Lucette. We're partners. Lucette, thinking to herself. That's the only reason. It has to be. Out loud. I am supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Claude. Help me? His lips quirk, but his smile is sardonic. Lucette. Claude, I want to help you. In the silence that descends between us, I find that I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo, at the thorns twirling around the rose. It is beautiful, but it also seems so lethal. When I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Claude. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. And you bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Lucette, thinking to herself. Harder for what? Claude. Princess, you can't imagine what all of this feels like. Lucette, thinking to herself. What is he talking about? Claude. And that woman! I'd thought we were meant to be! She was so lovely, her smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away. Claude. That's why... never again. But then you ruined everything, Lucette. You cut me down like... I push my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back. I wonder if this is like a I swore to myself I'd never love again, but then you showed up and now... and now I'm having emotions and it's bad. Lucette, thinking to herself. Oh, it says the pre-roll ad is on, but I can roll an ad to make it go away. Alright, so we're gonna roll an ad because I like the idea of making the pre-roll go away. And for those that are... Oh, I should have explained. Sorry. I'll do better next time, but I will just, chat. For until the ad is done. So, and I think this is a good way to handle it in general, is just, if I know when an ad is gonna run, I can just be like, hey, how's it going, everyone? And be a little chatty, and then people don't actually miss any of the actual graphic novel. And I will wait to respond to the comment until we're all the way back, because I might miss it otherwise. Pre-roll, by the way, is the things people see when they come to your page and get an ad first thing. Yeah, okay, I'll wait because you're also not subscribed. I do know that, but I don't want people to do 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And in fact, alright, we're back. So, in fact, I actually ran an ad just then. I failed to explain myself. I apologize. I'll try to be more on top of that. But, I rolled an ad intentionally to make pre-roll go away because I actually don't want to have pre-roll ads. I really dislike them. So, and I like being able to sort of plan for when there is an ad, so then I can be like, hey guys, I'm about to roll an ad. We're gonna pause the game for a sec and I'll chat with, people who are in the chat who are subscribers, and nobody will have to actually miss anything. So that's the plan, and that's how I'm gonna handle it going forward. And so as you can see, I stay at the same place, so we can go right back to it, and no one has actually missed anything, so. You can turn ads off completely, or I'll look into that maybe. I'll think about it, but I know the ad revenue is really tiny, so. But on the other hand, I also I think that it's also a perfectly valid workaround to just plan them out. So, but yeah, we'll go back to that later. All right, Lucette has finally been okay, enough's enough, dude. And has just pushed Claude away, thinking to herself, I cannot take any of this. Whoops. This is fine. Okay. Oh, I can turn off pre-roll. I thought I did, but it was definitely saying, hey, if you don't run an ad right now, you will have pre-roll. So that's what I was doing. Oh, okay. So you were saying... Because I was like, I didn't think you could turn ads off, but that makes more sense. You can turn off pre-roll, and I do want pre-roll off, so. Anyway. Lucette, thinking to herself, I cannot take any of this. Out loud. If I've ruined everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all the time in the world to yourself, then. The locket I'd bought for him burns in my hand, and I end up throwing it at his feet. Claude, shocked. Lucette, wait! I ignore him as I run from the room. When I return to my room and lock the door, I feel too hollow inside for tears. Lucette thinking to herself, it hurts to breathe when I think of Claude. Silence. I eventually manage to fall asleep, but only have snatches of restless dreams when my eyes finally close. Oh, more memories of her childhood with her mother. Oh goodness. Oh, this doesn't look like it's gonna go super well. So yeah, you know, as usual, content warning, her mother was very emotionally abusive. So this is a flashback to her mother, and it is probably not going to be a pleasant encounter. Young Lucette. Mother, are you and father in true love, like the fairy tales? Mother. I thought I forbid you to speak of the fairy tales. Have you been reading them? Young Lucette. No, Mother. I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. Mother. Then I shall have to find that person and make sure they know what an appropriate topic of conversation in the palace is. Young Lucette. But Mother, the true love in fairy tales sounds so nice. Do you think I can fall in true love with a prince? Mother. Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. Young Lucette. But... Mother. The love between a mother and her child is the truest kind. It cannot be replicated by anything else. All other kinds of love are an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. No! Yep. So back to the red flags for days. Did you know, everyone, that there are many, many very valid forms of love? Like friendship love, family love, romantic love, all kinds of love. Love is, nope. This is one of the most incorrect and just super bad statements that her mother has literally ever made. Like, and she's made a lot of bad statements, but like, literally all other love is fake is a bad one. Like, you know, even if you're aromantic, like, most aromantic folks are gonna, like, love their family, love their friends. It's like, there are so many kinds of love, I say, as someone who is aspec and polyamorous. And I'm like, and this is not any of it. You said it. This new island. Wow. Okay. So, yes. Many, many, many valid and important and very real types of love exist, and this is none of them. Mother. Do you understand me, my heart? Young Lucette. Yes, Mother. Your mother was terrible. Alright, so that is the end of the chapter. And we will stop here. Oh, that's nice. It looks like Lucette has gone to Jurian and Garland for sword training. That is excellent. Yeah, so my read is definitely... Oh, I was gonna respond to a comment when the ad was done. That was, Yeah, Ice Starmie was saying, clearly that's just it. He got disappointed once. So now he's like, I can never love again. Alright, well, that's a bit of a hot mess that hopefully will get resolved or go in a direction towards resolution next chapter. So yeah, so thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. So we'll be back at it next Monday with Chapter 8 at 4 p.m. Eastern as usual. And I hope I'll see folks there. And also for in general for streaming. Like, so hope I will see Cinderella Phenomenon folks next week. And if you want to catch any of my other streams, my next stream, I might do a really short one tomorrow, but that'll be like sort of a little throwaway stream. My next like official scheduled stream, it will be Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be playing more modded Minecraft. Bye! Bye, Ice Stormy and this new island. Thank you so much for being here and watching and chatting. I appreciate you very, very much. I appreciate everyone who is here watching, even if you are just lurking. As I've heard many other streamers say, and strongly agree with, lurking is love also, so I appreciate you all. And hopefully I will see folks next week, if not sooner. Bye!